Hello everyone and welcome back to our podcast. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's long overdue, the real story of Africa and its people. Africa is a continent of incredible diversity, innovation, and resilience, yet it's often misunderstood, underestimated, and misrepresented. Let's take a journey to uncover the truth and challenge the misconceptions that have shaped its image for far too long. To understand why Africa is often portrayed negatively, we need to go back in time, to the eras of colonialism and slavery. During these dark periods, colonial powers spread harmful narratives to justify their actions. Africans were labeled as savages and uncivilized, stripping them of their humanity. These terms weren't just words, they were tools of oppression, used to exploit millions of people and their resources. Think about it. If you convince the world that a group of people is inferior, you can exploit them without guilt. This wasn't just about power, it was about control. In the 18th and 19th centuries, so-called scientists created false racial hierarchies, placing Africans at the bottom. They used pseudoscience, fake science, to claim that Africans were intellectually and morally inferior. This wasn't just ignorant, it was intentional. These lies reinforced slavery, colonialism, and systemic racism for generations. But here's the truth they didn't want you to know. Africa is home to some of the world's oldest civilizations, like ancient Egypt, the Mali Empire, and Great Zimbabwe. Africans were innovating in mathematics, medicine, and trade long before many Western societies even existed. Then came the infamous Dark Continent myth. Western explorers and writers painted Africa as a dangerous, mysterious land to justify their invasions. But this narrative erased centuries of rich history, culture, and progress. Instead of recognizing Africa's achievements, they focused on its jungles, deserts, and wildlife, ignoring the people, the cities, and the innovations. Even today, this myth lingers. How often do you see Africa portrayed as a place of poverty and struggle instead of opportunity and brilliance? This one-sided story does a disservice to the truth. After many African nations gained independence, the narrative didn't change much. Western media continued to focus on Africa's challenges, wars, poverty, and disease. But what's often missing from these stories is context. The truth is, many of these struggles are rooted in Western interference. Colonization left behind fractured governments, economic exploitation, and borders that divided communities. Yet Africa was blamed for the very issues imposed upon it. Let's be clear, Africa is not defined by its struggles. It's defined by its resilience, its innovation, and its people's determination to build a better future. The media has played a huge role in shaping how the world sees Africa. Too often it highlights problems without acknowledging solutions. Stories of innovation, progress, and hope rarely make the headlines. Instead, we see stereotypes that reinforce old biases. It's time for that to change. And that's where you, our viewers, come in. Together, we can challenge these narratives and amplify the voices of those who are rewriting Africa's story. So how do we reclaim Africa's image? Here are a few ideas. Educate yourself and others. Learn about Africa's history, cultures, and contributions to the world. Share what you learn with friends and family. Support African creators. Follow African artists, writers, and innovators. Support their work and help amplify their voices. Challenge stereotypes. When you hear someone repeat a stereotype, speak up. Educate them about the truth. Celebrate diversity. Africa is not one country, it's 54 countries with thousands of cultures, languages, and traditions. Let's celebrate that richness. If you've learned something new today, I challenge you to share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Together we can change the narrative and give Africa the respect and recognition it deserves. And remember, Africa's story isn't one of struggle, it's one of triumph. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more episodes celebrating the beauty and brilliance of Africa and its people. See you next time. The true story of Africa, let's rewrite the narrative.